Okay, now, so we're gonna end on, we've done our, on this side, we've come in from our horse, boom, come back here, and then do your double reverse punch with Kia, okay? Now, from here, we're gonna repeat the same thing we did on this side, okay? So nothing new thus far. All right, so we've ended with this hand, or this punch out here. Now we're gonna look to our right. We're gonna step out to a fighting stance, a right fighting stance, and do our outside block, low block. Shift our hips into a front stance. And remember, this can be kind of subtle, okay? From your fighting stance, there's more weight on your back leg. I'm not gonna worry about the percentage, okay? You need to be able to use it, okay? If I give you a percentage, look, you're probably gonna be one way or the other. You need to find where it's comfortable. You got to be able to move. You have to be able to have some mobility. Don't get crazy. Okay, we're not doing a cat stance, empty leg stance. Okay, so fighting stance, outside low, shift right here into a front stance punch. Step through into a left fighting stance. Up, shift into a front stance and punch. Same thing that we did on this side. When we come off that punch, okay, we've been here, boom, boom, we're in a front stance, we punched, we're gonna step back onto the line, make sure I'm in the camera here, back onto the line, plant this foot, okay, where the toes are pointing forward, and we're gonna take this hand and sweep, turn in the knee as it follows. Again, try to keep this in the line as possible. When you're practicing this kata, if you feel like you get out too far, adjust it, okay? You're practicing the kata. Fix it before you start developing bad habits. Come in here, sweep off with the arm, and then same thing, boom. Again, keeping everything in tight, making sure to give attention to that chambering hand, okay? And make sure to drop that elbow with the heel, okay? Now when you're in a fighting horse, remember this should be 50-50. When you've done all this, come back to 50-50. Now from here, this is where we're going to turn around, okay? So I'm gonna have to face the camera, but in reality from here, you would be seeing my back, right? Now, I will do it from the back side as well as the front as we break this down. So this is what I would call section 2, because now I'm going on the other side. We're doing completely new movements now, okay? So from here, I'm gonna turn 180 and a little bit, okay? So when you've done, say basic kata 1, 2, 3, let's take basic kata 1 for an easy example. When you're at the end of the line, okay, you've done your low block, excuse me, here, I don't wanna get too close to the camera here. You end in a front stance, right? And when you do your turn, you're going on a horizontal line from where you're at, a line that is perpendicular. So you're stepping 270 degrees because you have to step past this foot so that when you rotate, you have that plank beneath you. And I'll demonstrate that in just a second. So when I do this 270 degree turn, I'm stepping past, planting, rotating out. I'm in a front stance here. But I've turned 270 degrees, okay, when I've done that. Now, when I do this, all right, I'm turning on the same line. Okay? I'm square on the line. I don't have my leg back here, right? So I gotta come completely around to this line, and then to make sure that my stance keeps my feet where I have them on each side of, say, a plank, I have to have it stepped just a little bit more past that line. Okay, so from here, I'm in my fighting horse. I'm gonna have to step all the way around and a little bit past so that I have my space between my feet. Okay, so you might want to just spend a little bit of time practicing that. If you just step all the way around on the line, when you turn, okay, you're gonna be off balance. See it happen a lot, okay? So just practice that turn, just like you practice the turn in basic kata 1, 2, 3. you should be pretty good at turning and not falling over after doing slant 4. Okay, so now when I'm on that side, I'm gonna do it with my back tuned to you first, and then I'm gonna turn around and face you and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so when I turn, right, I have come here, boom, boom, boom. This hand is the last hand out. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna go into a front stance, now outside block, and a ridge hand. I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. And a ridge hand, and then rotate into a fighting stance with a low block and an outward sweep. Okay, now I'm gonna face you and do that. So I'll start from here. I'm here, I'm gonna turn into a front stance, and as I do that, I'm going to have my outside block and this ridge hand here. Boom. Let's stop this ridge hand right here about my center of mass. Then I'm gonna sweep upward, I'm gonna transition into a fighting stance, and I'm gonna do an outward sweep so it goes in front of my arm here to my face, and a low block. Okay, step back a little bit. Then I'm going to kick with a front kick. So I'm gonna open the gate. Remember, hands up. Front kick, and then plant. And when I plant that front kick, I'm gonna plant into a fighting stance. Okay, so from here, boom, and make sure I get here. I'm gonna do a front kick, plant into a fighting stance with an outside block, low block. Same thing we've done, okay? So from here, boom, 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 and then shift into a front stance. So that's a movement that we did last time. Now when I come back, just like in slant 3 or slant 4, mostly, I'm gonna come back to a covered position, but I'm not covered on the line facing that way. I'm at an angle, okay? So when I step back, I'm stepping back and I'm covered at an angle. So here's my line, here's my angle. Because when I step off to do my way of the river, you'll see where that's important. Okay, so now we're gonna go through that again. We're back here. I'm gonna turn, let me go over here. I'm gonna turn, boom, front stance, outside block, ridge hand. Sweep up, I'm in a fighting stance, low block, outward sweep. Front kick, set it down into a fighting stance, outside block, low block. Shift into a front stance and punch. Step back, cover at an angle. Now my next movement, I'm gonna do a sweep, an outward sweep, and a way of the river, okay? And I'm gonna step into a fighting horse again, on the line. So step out, this is gonna turn in from the heel. As I clear, I'm gonna do my inside motion, my outside motion. Again, notice what I'm not doing. Now, when you're teaching kids, a lot of times we teach them this big fanning motion, okay, to get them to do that motion. But your adults, if they've met to this point, okay, keep that stuff tight, okay? I'm sweeping out, and then the speed, way of the river right here. See, I'm not going way out here. I'm staying within my orbit. And again, my chamber is coming back, okay? And I'm kind of coming out here. I'm kind of coming out and back, right? Out and back. I've done that on this side. I'm in a fighting horse. Done that on this side, boom. Now I'm gonna turn 180 degrees into a fighting horse facing the other direction. And as I do that, here, I'm gonna do the same outward sweep, way of the river on the other side, right here. Boom. Now up here. I'm on my left side, the first side now. I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna turn on my right. And as I do that, this hand sweeps out, and then way of the river. Okay? Now, from there, I'm in this position. This hand is up, okay? I'm gonna turn and do the same thing I did the first part of this section, okay? So I'm gonna turn all the way around in just a little bit, okay? So from here, boom, I'm gonna turn, here, let me go over here. I'm gonna turn all the way around and just a little bit more, and I'm gonna do an outside block into a front stance and a bridge hand, okay? Then the same thing. I'm gonna transition into a fighting stance. This hand is gonna sweep up and outward into a low block, okay, in a fighting stance. I'm gonna throw a front kick, boom, and then land in a fighting stance, outside, low block, shift to a front stance and punch. Now I'm gonna come back to an angle and face this direction. And I'm going to do the same thing, step off to a fighting horse. Right hand sweeps, clears, and then weigh the river on the right side, turn 180 degrees into my fighting horse on this side. Make sure you can see me here. And as I do that, left hand comes out. Now this is where it's different, okay? So this clears out. Instead of coming here and planting like it's been doing, this last one, you're gonna bring it up head high, all right? You're gonna bring it up head high, and you're gonna bring it down to the center in front of your chest. Now when you do this, we're gonna do something called ki breathing, okay? And what that is it's a very dynamic, hard breathing that comes from deep down, and you're gonna tense your whole core, okay? So when I come in here and I bring this down, so this is the last thing you're gonna do. This is, your hand is up here and you're gonna come down to the center. And as you do that motion, do it slow, okay? Make sure you're in your stance. And you're gonna focus on your whole core as you're breathing. Just right here, just tighten it up, okay? And that's how Shihan would always test us. At the end of this kata, you get a punch to the gut. And if you didn't do the breathing right, you'd know about it real quick. Okay, so that's fighting line in a little bit of a detail, all right? I hope you guys get something out of this. If you have any questions, you know, reach out. Look, we all need to be helping each other. So, hey, keep training. Good luck.